Up, you know what it is. It's your man Trey, aka T Smith.
Loved by few, hated by many, respected by all.
Coach boy, Coach Dan, ready to get it in on the world famous
Turftalk, baby.
It's a first down. Billy Bryant. Green, and it's intercepted. Drake Jackson.
Let's go. Let's go. Live my whole life around gangsters. Don't hang around nothing that ain't like us. Twin foes make them put away deuces. My whole hood in the building looking ruthless.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time you get a chance to check out the world famous Turftalk, man. I'm one of your co-hosts that'll, be blessing your evenings tonight. T Smith, also known as Trey, with my two guys that I like to hang with, my co-host, Coach G, Coach Dennis, everybody fresh off the football field. We got a week of Friday night lights. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Coach Dan? How you doing, Coach Gary?
Man, what's good, my brother? I'm like a fat kid in a chocolate factory. I'm feeling good and staying on point like an index finger. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to tonight's show. I know it's about to go down like a 747 jet with a blown head gasket, man. I'm looking so forward to it, man.
Yes, sir. It's always definitely a pleasure. Coach Dan, how you doing? Let's check in with Coach Dan, Coach Gary. I'm gonna come back to you, Coach Dan. First, how you doing? I know you just got off the green right now. So how's it going?
Yeah, it's your boy Coach Dan, ready to get it in, man. I just got off that field, man. At Centennial, man. We just had our practice, man. We got our first game this week, so we gearing up, getting ready to, try to go undefeated this year.
Okay, I like that. I want to let's talk to Coach Dan real quick. We're gonna get Coach Gary. We're gonna get out to you because I just seen the video. Gary, it's a whole lot to talk about because we don't get a chance to talk. We got the fellas already in the waiting room. Hopefully they could be a little patient. Coach Dan, I know you guys had the three-way scrimmage with Mater Dei and Long Beach Poly. How you think you're looking out there?
Well, we're gonna be all right. Like you said, man, it's good to have those type of games because you can get the jitters out. You can finally get to hit somebody else, and so we did pretty good. I didn't get to see the game per se because I was out in Frisco, but I heard a lot about what our boys did,
You know what, Coach G, I forgot all about that. Go ahead and get him, Coach G.
Right. The San Francisco 49ers put the finishing touches on the Green Bay Packers. Drake Jackson has proven the necklace ain't gold plated. He is the real deal, 24 karat. And like a professional back catcher in a baseball game, Drake Jackson looked at home. The commentators, they just kept echoing his name, Mr. Relevant, a.k.a. the Freak, Dawson Effect. It was clear the 49ers have taken him under their wing, and I'm not talking about an airplane either. And Big Dan, I want to ask you one thing. Now that the dream is reality, how do you balance the conversation with Drake? Do you, because I know you just don't want to talk football, so how do you keep it balanced?
He's always my son, so I'm always gonna shoot straight forward with it with everything,
Right.
We still talk about life, you know what I mean, and what goes on in life, besides football. But like I said, I'm there for him for football as well, so.
Okay. Now, hey, Coach G, I want to talk to you a little bit. Coach, then I'm going to check in with you. I just want everybody to say what's up to Coach Steinberg for checking with us. We got Beaumont High School in the building, the head coach, and his parents checking in. Coaches, we just checking in with the team real quick. Coach Dennis at the bottom. Next to you is a D-line coach at Centennial, and his son, went to USC and now 49er. And, he missed the Centennial practice to go out there and see his son against Green Bay. So we have to ask him how it felt as a dad to be out there. So, hey, Coach Dennis, from the recap of what we've seen and the plays I seen he chased down Love. I seen he had the batted ball. How's he feeling? I know he went out early with a little shoulder situation, but I think if it was a game, he would have went back in. Am I correct, Coach Jackson?
Yeah, you correct. He definitely, he told me since that. I couldn't went back in the game. He's like, it was just a stinger. He's like, but they wanted to be cautious, so they took him out, gave him x-rays, and did an MRI. He didn't leave the hospital till like 11 o'clock that night. But I just told him, I said, son, you're like a Corvette, man, and if you get a little scratch on you, man, they want to make sure you're okay and buff you out or whatever. So He's doing well, man. He actually practiced the day after. So I
Okay.
mean, he's they in Minnesota right now.
Okay.
So.
Okay. We got, like I said, man, I'm excited tonight. It's week 0. We're going to be talking about, let's check in with Coach Gary real quick. Coach Gary, how you doing? I know your son is over there at USC getting ready for a big season, his junior year. How's everything going over? I know they, for Riley closed down all the practices, right?
Right. You know, everything is pretty much on quiet mode. You know, he's moving in silence, and he's gonna let their actions do the speaking. And I love it. You know, I talked to G. They go in about 5 o'clock a.m. and you know, they get home. They get back to the dorms at about 10 o'clock at night. So this is truly a job. And you know, they have a lot to prove. You know what I mean? So they're getting back to the old USC. You know what I mean? So I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yes, sir, man. It's always a pleasure checking in, man. It's the Turf Talk right here. Now, hey, let's pay our respects tonight. We hanging out with Beaumont High School. It's week 0. How you doing, Coach Steinberg?
Doing great, thanks. We had a good evening practice tonight, so.
Yeah, good. You know what, Coach Steinberg? Okay, that's Coach Gary, Coach G, Coach Dennis. You know, we're gonna be hanging out with you and the fellas tonight, checking with the players. Yesterday I got a chance to pop up. And the first thing I did when I popped up, I want you to talk a little bit about your history and you know how long you've been there. But as soon as I stepped onto the bleachers, all I heard was this: get off the field. That's all I heard. I was like, okay, we talking real football. He was like, get off the field. Give me somebody who know what they're doing. Guy came in. Then I seen you watch the same play about 3 times from 3 different locations. So if you could talk, you know, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit of, you know, I know you've been a coach for 25 years, and how long you've been the coach for Beaumont High School, sir?
So I'm going into year 5 at Beaumont. Before that, I had an opportunity to be at some other schools, Rancho Verde, Santiago, A.B. Miller, and then got my start up in the high desert at Burroughs High School when we moved to California. And before being a head coach, I was an assistant for 6 years, and my wife and I wanted to move to California and had an opportunity to, you know, when you've never been a head coach, you know, you're not taking over a Centennial or a Modern Day or those kind of programs. So I was excited to take over a program that was kind of struggling, and kind of put our own stamp on it. And we were fortunate, did well, and you know, one thing led to another, which led to another, and here I am. I'm at Beaumont.
That's right.
Definitely a pleasure, Coach G. You want to tap in?
Yeah, you know, I want to say to today's listeners, today's interview for me, there will be beams of light shooting to all student athletes across the globe, rather from the sunny sea shores of LA or 1 hour and 42 minutes up the road in beautiful mountains of Beaumont, California. Talent exists in all forms and fashion. And I like to call today's visitors flowers in the attic, or better yet, diamonds in the rough. The head coach, Jeff Steinberg, has a resume that goes longer than a Pippi Longstocking boot, 25 years to be exact. And with a fast, no-huddle offense and his innovative practice, he's raising the bars. And I'm not talking about a choir singer either. His quarterback, Christopher Cooper, an electrifying junior who is Allstate, and I'm not referring to the insurance company on TV, with Pedro Navarro, O-lineman, Armando Calera, running back, Matt Garcia, wide receiver, Josh Gutierrez, D-lineman, Gage Escadel, linebacker, and Joshua Payne, linebacker, with Tavon Anderson, linebacker. Like a can of sour cream Pringles, this team is stacked, and with more shine than a Forrest Gump Army boot. So I just want to say, hey, I love it. And before I want to lay this to rest, the fairy tale that if you're in the low division, that's out the window, because I want to say this: if I go to China and I get a tiger, and I bring the tiger back and put it into the LA Zoo, then I go to Africa and I get a tiger and bring it back and put it in the LA Zoo, and you run up in that cage, you're gonna get the same result. So what I'm saying is, a phenom is a phenom. I don't care where you are, a dog is a dog. And, you know, so I just want to say, Coach, it's truly a blessing to have you and your athletes, your student athletes on here. And let's get it in. Let's get it in.
Awesome, man.
Yes, sir. Coach, talk to us a little bit about last year. We won. Matter of fact, let me introduce you. We got Josiah Payne. Josiah, go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
What's up, y'all? Josiah Payne. Last year I played strong safety. This year I'm playing outside linebacker. Last year was a good year. Just like a learning experience for me on varsity. This year I'm picking up stuff and learning the defense more and figuring out how to like get outside when tackling the quarterback and just stopping plays all the time.
Right.
I got you. I like that, man. Sound like a young man that's willing to listen and willing to give it his all. How you doing over there, Mr. Coop? How's it going with you? Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, good. What's up, fellas? Christopher Cooper, class 24 quarterback. Like Coach mentioned, All-State last year. Threw for a bunch of yards and looking forward to the same this year.
Right.
Okay. Hey, we're going to check back in with Coach real quick, Coach Steinberg. But cool. Get to know these brothers right here. They got sons at SC. Talk to them. Get to know them. Hey, call them and harass them. But Coach Steinberg, talk to us a little bit how the season went last year and what some things that you guys are working on this year. Because I seen you guys beat San Jacinto for the first time in over 20 years.
Wow. Man, that's right.
Am I correct, Coach?
Yeah, I can't speak for before I got there, but I know that, since I've been there, we've had every game is a battle. Like it's a great rivalry. And anyways, we played them twice last year, once at our place in non-league, and then we faced them in the first round of the playoffs and wound up coming out on top, and it was just a great game.
Okay.
Right.
And, so I believe you guys were 8-4 in the season last year, 3-2 in the league, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So exactly what's some things we're working on this year? Because I walked out there and it was like a fast-paced offense. Is there some tweaks you guys brought this year, or are you just still installing the Coach Steinberg way?
Yeah. So you know what? I'll tell you what. We had, when I took over the program 5 years ago, it was just incredible in terms of like kids bought in right away, and we were able to kind of get rolling right from the get-go. From the first year on, like they believe in what our philosophy is, and you throw the word culture around, but we have great culture in our program, and players take a lot of pride. We've got a lot of young men in the program, and it gives us an opportunity to be able to do what we're doing. Like when you come watch practice and you see that like there's not really much standing around. Guys are busy and we're getting our work in. One of the things that like every year, guys graduate, so it's not like you're not a pro football team where you're going to hold on to somebody for 10 years. So the dynamics change every year. And like last year we had two very gifted receivers. And I thought that they helped kind of get Coop going. And now Chris has an opportunity to kind of put his mark on the program as a leader with having new personnel that he's surrounded with. We've got backfields back, but we've got, for the most part, a lot of those guys that are starting at receiver were waiting in the and kind of just raring to go. And so every year, skill set sort of changes. So you've got different dynamics, and you want to just kind of cater to guys' strengths. And so the offense may look a little different at times, but it's still gonna, like, the philosophy doesn't change in terms of distributing the ball and moving the ball downfield, and playing with multiple tempos with what we're doing.
Okay. Coach Jackson, I want to tap in with you. When you get somebody like the quarterback that they have, Mr. Christopher Cooper, if I go back to his stats, where's his stats at, Coach G? 269 at 382, 3,610 yards and 35 touchdowns. And he rushed for 79 yards with 12 attempts and 9 touchdowns. Coach Jackson, what's something your D-line, because Coach Jackson puts these kids D1 from Centennial. What's some things you do to a quarterback like this, Coach Jackson?
We're definitely going to film and watch and study this kid from the back to the front. We probably watched like 5 different games on this guy, you know what I mean, just to try to contain him, But like I said, that's the fun part of coaching, you know what I mean? It's like a chess, being able to being able to lay your pegs down how you want them. But I just want to say too. Also, it's a pleasure to meet Coach Steinberg. I've been in the coaching realm for high school football for about 8 years now, and I've always heard his name. You know what I mean? Right. So it's a pleasure meeting you, Coach, and I want to sit down and be a fan and just listen to what's going on, what y'all got going on with at Beaumont.
Appreciate it, man. Actually, Coach, a lot of ideas that I got came from Coach Logan earlier in my career. When I was up in the high desert, we would drive out to Centennial during the off season a few different times, and just one time we, believe it or not, when everybody was interested in his offense, we were picking his brain about defense. And then another time we came down and just met with him about practice planning. And, when we were going more four wide and making that transition, Coach Logan's always been great in terms of like just giving back and helping other coaches out. So,
right.
Yes, sir. Coach G, you want to tap in with the players and whatnot?
Yes, I want to say first and foremost, it is such a blessing and honor to have you on here, Coach Steinberg, and these young men on here. And I'm a coach that teaches that football is only 20% physical and 80% mental. So I love testing the mental aspect. And I'm gonna ask you guys a question, and you don't have to be Bible accurate, but I do want to, get the real you. So for the young men on here, I want to ask you this. So when you guys do visit a college, what kinds of questions will you have for the head coach, the position coach, and the strengths coach? Because I feel like preparation is everything. So those are the people you want to ask questions to. So what kind of questions would you ask those particular coaches?
You can go first, Josiah. You can let them know what you think.
All right. So when I would go up to a coach, I would ask them like what their culture is like for the team and what their game plan is all the time. So that way I can get used to the teammates and then to the other coaches. So that way I can understand where they're coming from when I'm talking to them, and I'll be able to be coachable and play hard like they'll want me to.
Right. I like that. I like that.
What about Coop? Coop, we putting the pressure on you tonight. What's up, Coop?
Yes, sir. I'll just go up there, introduce myself, let them know a few things about myself, and after, ask them what kind of offense they run, what they're going to spread, run heavy, pass heavy offense, and then, what kind of quarterback they're looking for, dual threat, pro style like myself, I don't want to throw myself in a program where, maybe that's not the right fit for me. So definitely questions like that. Also ask them, if they offer me now, where I'm going to be on the depth chart in a year, where I'm in depth chart in 3 years, so just stuff like that.
Man, I love it. Absolutely love it. Student athletes, man. I love that.
Steinberg and polished them up. Okay. Definitely. That's good stuff, Coop. That's because you have a high potential. I want to bounce back with this question with you, players. Coop, with the season that you had last year, what gives you the motivation to going into this year to either, do you have, are you kind of anxious about competing with what you did last year? Or do you just saying, hey, as we all say, you just work hard and what comes and I'll make the adjustments. How are you looking into this season with what kind of season you had last year?
I always talk to my coach and the players, the stats are cool, but ultimately at the end of the day is I want a ring on my finger, and I want those wins and I want that chip at the end of the season. So I'm not really trying to compare myself to last year. I'm just trying to, get better as a player and, improve my ball placement, improve the things I can control. And say we do go 10-0 or say we do go 8-4 and run it back like we did last year, I want to go further in the playoffs and stuff like that. So the stats are cool. Definitely would love to get the stats up there, but, just the wins and more chemistry and stuff like that with the guys would be great this year.
Right.
Okay, what about you, Josiah? I don't want to leave you out.
This year, I'm just looking forward to getting as many tackles and just working on my technique this year. So that way, in the next 2 years I have playing in high school, that I will know what I'm doing and doing correctly, and just focusing on where my alignment and assignment is and where I should work to the receiver or getting to the quarterback. And just from last year, just knowing, trying to learn the defense. I've mainly been on special teams. So just trying to learn the defense. I'm just trying to get my starting position, so that way I don't have to even touch the sidelines no more.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Coach Steinberg, with as much experience as you have going to each season, what do you have something in the playbook for every situation? Maybe our running is not as strong, or maybe our wide receivers are not taking the top, or do you have something? How do you implement? Once you see what you have, how do you implement going into the season? What you're gonna fix or whatnot, because you've pretty much seen it all. So I know you have a game plan. How do you the protocol for your game plan? I'm just trying to pick your brain.
Great question. We throw a lot at them in the off season, spring and summer, and that's kind of an opportunity to see, okay, like what do we do well, and then just try to match those things with the skill sets that we have, rather than making the mistake of, well, we're just going to repeat what we did last year and plug and play. It's most high schools, it's not like that, right? Like you've got to try to work to the strengths of the kids that you have every year. We're fortunate. Right. We've got a great running back who's going to be a 3-year guy. We've also got a couple other guys that we can put in the backfield that we think that they each kind of have like different strengths, where we're going to be able to put some different guys in the backfield and do some different things. And then at the receiver position, I feel like we've got some different guys that all have some abilities that are going to help us out. So it's a matter of, like, in the off season, determining, like, like we think, like, as much as we're putting plays in, it's more like, okay, like how can we like make use of these guys rather than running plays and they just so happen to be the guy that's touching the ball.
Okay.
Trying to think a little more player and not play, because you can really get carried away and have too much. And so we'd rather kind of less is more approach.
Okay.
Right.
Hey,
Happening? No.
Just want to say one thing. Josiah is such a humble kid.
Oh,
on the field, the kid, he's like, yes, sir. Now, very nice kid. On the field, kid's a monster, and he's only a sophomore.
The quiet assassin. Coach Jackson, you've seen enough of those about the quiet guys. Your son is kind of quiet.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's a little. Always been a quiet kid.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Coach G, you want to tap in?
Yeah, I want to say that character, and I think Coach Steinberg, I think you can attest to this. Character goes far in this football forum, and I want to say this to the young men on here. All you gentlemen, you guys are unique, so your journey will differ. So pop the clutch and stay in your own lane, and remember, listening to outside rhetoric will only stunt your growth. Trey Lance from the 49ers, quarterback, he went to North Dakota State. Andre Reed with the Bills, he went to Kutztown University. Steve McNair, Titans, he went to Acorn State. Shannon Sharp for the Broncos, tight end, he went to Savannah State. Walter Payton for the Bears, he went to Jackson State. Jerry Rice for the 49ers, he went to Mississippi Valley State. So what do all these top dogs, Pro Bowlers, Hall of Famers have in common? They have all achieved the so-called unachievable. They all went to so-called lower level schools, and they controlled the narrative, and now look what they at. So I don't never want to hear, this and that, we're in the lower division. No, excuses are for losers. You guys go out there and be great. And remember, you represent the name on the back of your jersey. You represent your coach. You represent your parents. Always be great. Be the best version of yourself each and every play.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of Coach G. I got a picture up behind me right now. All these kids played at Centennial, and they're all in the NFL right now. Cam Bynum, he played with Minnesota Vikings. He played his 1 year of high school football. He started only his senior year. Saguna Lubier, he plays for the 49ers. Played 1 year as a senior of high school football. J.J. Taylor is the smallest. He's probably
5'6" at best.
5'6". 5'6". He's a running back for the New England Patriots. But like I said, all these kids had different paths to get to the NFL. Saguna Lubier, he went to Division II college, came back home, went to JC, walked on to San Diego State, got a full ride to San Diego State. Now he's with the 49ers. Like I said, so I just want to shoot you guys with little nuggets. If you got dreams, dream big. You know what I'm saying? But number one thing, take care of your grades. Grades are very important. There's no way you can get to college if you don't have grades. So take care of your grades, number one. And like I said, it takes more than what you do at the high school. So to prepare your body like this, as far as like getting ready. So that's my question to you guys right now. What's some of the things you guys prepare in the off season for your season? What's some of the things you guys do to prepare?
For me, I do track to help like gain my speed in, so that way if there's a break off, run or a deep pass, I could try to get there as fast as I can and make the tackle and stop the play. I did a lot of college camps and just practice on my by myself. And yeah, just been working on myself and just like my speed and strength.
Okay.
Right.
What about you, Cool?
Me for the off season. So right after football's over, I go into basketball right away, and then this year I'm gonna do track as well.
Oh, you're an athlete.
Yes, sir. And so then after that, in the summertime, and after school's over, maybe a little bit towards the end of school, I play for Ground Zero. So I do 7-on-7. Right all the way out till we start summer back up, and then the season's there. It'll be just 7-on-7, just always trying to stay active, football, track, basketball.
Okay. Speaking of, Coach G already know where I'm about to go with this. This is for Coach Steinberg. Coach Steinberg. I know at certain positions 7-on-7 benefits. What do you think about the overall 7-on-7 in general? Do some? I mean, you know where I'm going with it. I'm trying to word it correctly. Some 7-on-7s may mess up your fundamentals of what you teach your players. Because there's all kind of 7-on-7. So I'm gonna give it to you.
Coach, how do you feel about 7-on-7? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Like, okay. I think that when kids are going out and working on skills because they're passionate about the game. And I think anytime a kid can go out and throw passes against different coverages, I think that's all great stuff. It's even better if you're going out with your guys that you're going to throw. It's not always the case, but like I don't get carried away with, like you see negative stuff and that happens in regular sports too.
Okay.
On team. Like, so I look at all the positives and make sure that the players are gearing to like teams that are going to kind of take care of them and I guess have their best interests in mind. And I'm not worried about all the, like, I think that if you care about your kids and you run a good program, you don't have to really worry about where your kids are going and what they're doing.
Okay. Right. Okay, that was definitely a different outlook. I was just because I know sometimes they change philosophy on 7-on-7 besides of what you teach, but that what you said is that's definitely a good philosophy as well.
Right.
Yeah. It's like it's like kids are going out and they're doing sports and they're keeping busy and they're doing it because they love the game and they want to try to do things to get ahead. And I'd much rather have a kid doing that than sitting around and doing nothing. But we also really preach to our kids that, hey, get involved in another school sport, whether it's wrestling, basketball, track and field. We think those are real good sports for kids that are involved with football. And that's what a lot of our guys are doing.
Like that.
Definitely. Coach G, I know we don't got that much time. You want to go ahead and talk to us?
Yeah, Coach, I'm a youth coach, Steinberg, and at the next level, the high school coaches inherit what we bring to you. And I think it's very disheartening to see that the youth football is starting to show a pattern of being unruly, out of control, and just wild. A youth football coach, Michael Hickman, a grandfather and father of 3 from Lancaster, Texas, was killed over an officiating call at a youth football game. In Oakland, California, a 34-year-old DeAndre Green was shot dead, and he was at a youth football game. Just last year, here in California, shots rang out at a 7-on-7 tournament. So I feel like it's not the kids that are out of pocket, but the parents who are trying to live through their kids. And they're going from team to team. They're hopping around like a kangaroo with bad feet, and it's sad. And you know, a lot of times when you guys inherit some of these young men, you guys have to kind of rebuild and rewire what's going on. And I commend you for what you're doing. I met you before in Moreno Valley at Rancho, but you know, just keep doing what you are doing, Coach. And you know, peace, love, and happiness, and just keep grinding.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys, go ahead, Cooper, Josiah. Tell us what we can look for this week. Who y'all playing? What can we see? Week 0. What's going on, Coop? Talk to us. What you looking for this week?
We're gonna rip it up this week, and then we're just gonna surprise them with the ground game. You know, they might come out, try to underestimate us, stuff like that. You know, that's gonna be a real rude awakening for them. Right. I understand they got a new coach, new program, but you know, we're coming out looking to fire, looking up to rip it all over. You know, just dominate and start out week 1, week 0 with the bang.
Okay. Stay focused. You already know Coach Steinberg. I'm gonna be rooting for you right there. So it's definitely a pleasure. I always get to see you from afar. I'm gonna run up on you one day. I want everybody listening right now that may not know. Hey, Coach Steinberg runs a college-like practice. It's music blasting. It's a feel-good environment. I enjoy it a lot. You can go out there. You can, have a cocktail, a mahi on the sideline, just playing around. But, you get what I'm saying? It's just a feel-good environment. So we definitely appreciate it. Josiah, what can we expect from you this week?
You're going to see a lot of big hits and major big plays, not just for me, but my whole defense on the team. We're all have good chemistry with each other, and we know each other just by looking at each other in the eye. We know what's going to happen, and you're going to see like a lot of sacks and a lot of stops for me. So
Coach Dennis, you want to get us out of here?
Yeah, I just want to say, like I said, man, I'm looking forward to you guys' season, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to have you guys on the show, and I just want to tell you guys good luck and do what you do.
Right.
Yes, sir. Coach Steinberg, to the Beaumont staff, everybody, we appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. And we'll definitely have to check in one of those, later on during the season and see how you guys are doing.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot for having us.
Sure.
Thank you. Coach G, appreciate you. Fight on, Trojans. Fight on, Beaumont. And Niner, bang, bang. How you doing, Coach? You're a Niner fan now. How we doing?
I'm definitely not a Niner fan now. I'm a Drake fan. Bang, bang. That's all I can do is bang, bang.
Right. Hey, if I could leave them with these words,
yes,
hustle in silence and let success speak for itself. Stop counting reps, make the reps count. Peace, love, and happiness.
Thank you. Shout out to Beaumont High School. We appreciate you guys. Next week, we got Eisenhower from the city of Rialto. Thanks again for checking us with us. Support these youth football teams, man. Find out what you can do to support them. Donate. Do something for these high school kids and these coaches. It's hard out there. These guys, for the families and everything, just out there all day, all night, sweating in that heat. So we appreciate you guys. Coaches mean something more than just Friday nights. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good game, boss. We'll check in.